here we go into the tank picking on Himmelsdorf. FHS starting it up, 2 VZ55s. And these are going to be some of the unintended consequences. The North American region traditionally has tended to undervalue the 113 in most seasons of professional play compared to the European and the Russian regions, which tend to favor it more. I remember when the Wheezy 5A came out, the North American region really went all in on that. And
the 5A.
And like, don't get me wrong, it has its place and it had its place.
Right.
But the Russians and the Europeans tended to still favor the 113 for that little bit extra HP and just the gun handling.
Even FHS is bringing a 113 now. That's crazy.
I don't think that it's that poor. It's just it depends.
Yeah.
If you're bringing 277,
I guess there's nothing else. I guess there's nothing else
with
340 heat that has that armor profile, right?
Yeah, because you have to know where you're gonna play. Yeah, and what map. It can't just be I'm bringing a 113 or 277.
If CatJam brings Newton in a 113 again, I'm gonna laugh.
Because there has to be a reason, right? Like, what's your you dislike the 113, but like, if it's able to use the gun
don't dislike it. I don't know. I'm just Russian bias, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I dislike the IS-4, so I mean, I'm biased.
The IS-4. We saw. Chase is obviously. The 2 IS-4s we've seen thus far is what Sheep and now Chase, and what it really came down to was the IS-4 just wasn't.
And won a 1v1, I remember, on the one line, and he had the extra HP to be able to do it. Right. And could he have won it in a 113? I'm sure probably. It's just, but the IS-4 gives you some, just that extra bit of HP to make it just not as easy to pick. And you can see
I'm so glad I didn't pick Finesse. He's not even starting.
Ooh.
I love that boy, though.
And yeah, I think I picked Chase on my team from FHS.
You picked the caller? Dang, that's crazy.
I think it's time. And
look at this.
A mega split with everyone going to the K line right off the bat. The
113 is on the 6. They got an E3. Mm-hmm. They're doing like a standard defense. FHS kind of playing like what we saw, as much as Wally hates me to say it, Jack is AFK, and what we saw them kind of their standard D.
Similar. They didn't
similar, but they have a fit. I can't remember if they had a 50B or not.
They did not, I don't think, but they did it a little bit differently. They sent the IS-4 to F1, and they didn't get anything else any further south. They just had their VZ stacked up at D2.
Yeah, because didn't Wally actually 1v1 people down there, and he won that, right?
Mm-hmm. He won his 1v1, and he was just kind of the tank that's, an IS-4 out at F1 is just kind of designed to be, well, it takes a little while to get back into the fight. It's so difficult to pick and will take so long that they kind of can't deal with it. But they've gone more aggressive down south. And they've just left the E3 alone at A4. They still have some courtyard eyes. It looks like that 50B is.
I love that people are playing bat chats with like hardening. Like they're realizing that extra 180 HP is like, valuable. He hasn't lit the E3 yet.
And if the E3 is stationary, he probably will not. And also, he will not be lit by the E3.
He's going to get clapped.
If he was not a medium, he
would have got lit, and he would have got clapped.
E3 with the Binox may not actually. If the E3 has Binox,
it may.
He should.
Well, there's a field mod that actually gives the Bat Chat plus 3% camo, and the Bat Chat gets also a passive bonus with camo when you upgrade the field mods all the way up. So the Bat Chat now can get up to 40. It's like 41.
With fire here with his demonic. It's. He has to really know.
I know it's over 40, but the E3, Melly's actually leaving.
He did see the E3. That's the difference in the mod. He could see the E3. That makes more sense now.
Right.
Actually, look what's been going on down here. This whole brawl has been going on while we were focusing in on that. Fishy is down to 1,400 HP, and the VZs and 277s have made their play out wide. Just the three of them.
Waffles is also down
in the courtyard.
Half HP.
And, Fishy, I think. He's loaded. He's looking for shots, and you can just see that quick.
Padding is just chilling there. We're getting a push on Hasu. Flounder, Ober, and Melly going in. Melly's probably just going to cover him to keep that 113 off. Oh, no, he's actually turning. He's going for it. Boom! He pens it, too! Just snapping in an E3. Demonic coming in from the offside. It looks like Honey Badger is calling for a push down the one line while Chase is coming to kind of block it while Fishy relocated so he can get another 2 shots off. XVM is now down to half HP while Demonic is looking to clip out Flounder. He misses that, whiffs it. looking to get some really, really narrow shots. Well,
Just
it looks
trying to
like
get that last shot
Fishy.
before he clips.
Yeah, and it looks like they basically Chase is literally holding it out, and Fishy ends up clipping out somebody. Chase is pushing in. Now everybody's just pushing in while Flounder's just holding right there. It's basically over at this point.
They tried to make the push down at K1, J1, which we missed part of, which sorry about that, but it still is. It went okay, but it just did not go nearly well enough.
Yeah.
And there were too many layers of defense where they not only had the tank at J1, the 113, they had the VZ at F1, they had the guys on the 3 line, and their E3 pulled out, and the bat check kind of wasn't there in time for that poke at E2.
Right.
And even if he was there, that's not necessarily enough, because like he got there, he got some shots in, but it just wasn't enough. They lost so much HP trying to pick that 113, and I think that 113 was Paddington, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, decisive defensive win, good flex, good calling, and you can see there's the Binox on Melon.
It was just I mean, like they ended up with 6,200. Chase basically showing what the IS4 is, used for, right? Like the IS4 is used to receive a push, not to push, right? And so, we saw Chase play it, and we saw Wally play it, and they both received pushes, while Sheep was pushing in his, right? And you can kind of just see the difference, right? He just, you want your IS4 to kind of just be there to receive a push, not to push. Chasing an IS4 is just not a play.
I don't know if that IS4 was also like an idea of like, because we saw similar from
Toma.
No, not from Toma. From
Jack is AFK.
Yeah, Jack is AFK.
Uh-huh.
Where they played similar tanks but in different positions.
Right.
It could almost be a thing where you try to bring a similar lineup and do it a little bit.
It's probably just a caller preference, though.
Like you try to do something a little different. That's something you're going to see with lineups as you go. And with the tank picking, you can see here Bolt getting out 2,400, Honey Badger 2,300.
Right.
But really, Hasu, the Desu, the Weep brothers only getting out 1,400 combined, and Demonic Desu only getting out 3 shots of damage really in his back. It's just not enough and really decisive little flex calling is what FHS did. They did flex calls. They did a a
lot of those guys have so much experience. Like Flounder plays Clan Wars for fun. Like, who does that? That's crazy.
I used to. but they
he plays when it's not the campaign. That's crazy. These guys just play when it's not the campaign. Like, there's no tier 10 tank on the line. Are you serious? But
that Super Conqueror, like in the courtyard, was just so overexposed, and I mean, lots of things had happened in the game at that point. I'm not saying like it was a bad call or a good call, but like when they see that they saw an opportunity, and they saw the right opportunity. It was just these 3 tanks go. They didn't send 2. They sent the what was it? The Super Conqueror, the E3, and the 50B. And it was just more than enough, and it was the right amount.
Yeah, it was. I mean, just picked Hasu,
and
it picked Hasu for free.
And no one can do much about it. They took a hit from a 113 or 2. And it's like, okay, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll take it. We're going into the next round tank picking. FHS off to a quick, pretty dominating Himmelsdorf defensive win. See what they can do on attack. For those confused about the tank picking slide, this is unique to this tournament. So as you can see here, the attacking team's on the top in red. They will pick 2 tanks first. Then the bottom team, the defending team, will pick 4. Then the attacking team will pick 3. Defending team will pick 2, and the attacking team will have the last tank pick at the end. They have about 1.5 minutes total, so the clock is currently running for 1.5 minutes each. And once they ready up their tanks, it's kind of like chess. They hit the clock, and then it goes to the other side. So right now they're talking about it. Usually at the beginning, they kind of ready up 2 tanks immediately, and it's usually 2 VZ55s as they get readied up right there, because as we're going to say all season, this has been kind of the staple, is that, and look at that, CatJam telling you something about their strategy. If their instant ready up is 2 VZs and 2 277s. That's their anchor of Himmelsdorf. They don't really seem to have something where they're not bringing the 2 277s as well as the 2 VZs. And now it is FHS's turn as they wait to pick 3 tanks, and they go, ooh, interesting, a 50B, an E100, and a Bat Chat. Talk about like Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and Baby Bear.
Exactly.
And look at that, CatJam bringing an E100 and 50B of their own, and then there's the 113 from FHS. So
interesting.
Yeah,
it's a really heavy. It's a heavy defense. It makes sense.
I think we've seen 1 E100 played on Himmelsdorf so far in the games we've casted. I think on defense. I don't think we saw any on attack.
Did we? Who was it that brought it?
don't know. Maybe it was one of the other games that we did not cast.
Right.
Because I remember that E100 on the 8 line on defense.
Oh, that was definitely not
at
this.
the 5 line. Yeah, that was not.
Definitely not. That was definitely not the league.
Matches.
I think these are the first E100s we're seeing in the league.
I think that was during the qualifiers last week that we were watching it. It all runs together as we go in. We've got it here. Lineups again. So, yeah, we've got. So, how are these E100s are so slow comparison, but the HP 3120, the high DPM, the buff turret of, yesteryear, 8 months ago, or whenever that patch was. E100 was brought a lot in Clan Wars, and I mean, still is in 15-on-15, but in 6-on-6, where you can't mask them and you have a 2-of rule, like maybe, I would actually say almost certainly, if there was not a 2-of rule, we would see a lot more E100s sometimes. I still think the meta would be fast, but there would still be the thing of, well, if you guys are going to bring all these 277s, maybe we just bring 5 E100s and see what you can do.
Well, in E100, the E100 doesn't really mess up the 277s. The E100 is more like, I feel like the E100 is more of a VZ counter, because a VZ like legitimately can't pen like its turret face reliably.
Has to high roll that 3.
It either has to hit the police bar, which the VZ is a low profile
Chase
tank.
Is gonna get shot here. He's gonna get shot here by Hasu, right? Oh, maybe he's gonna shoot. Look at that timing. I don't know if he saw him or not. That was actually.
No, it looks like XVM takes the shots there.
Oh,
he only took one shot. Because it looked like Chase was looking... Ooh, and the Flounder getting a shot on Hasu. Poking in his E100.
But CatJam look out of place. They don't look like... I'm going to go on a limb. I don't think Hasu Desu really knew what he was doing there and where he was poking and what the strat is.
And Vova lights the E100. And here, we're probably going to see a push here because Vova, I'm pretty sure, lit that E100. And
the thing is...
FHS is going to capitalize on such a big tank in a fight. Yeah. Here we go.
But can they get the picks quickly enough? And because there's still 5...
He's probably going to try to look for perma-tracking him. If he perma-tracks him... Oh, he's going to be bye-bye. He's going to leave him on a one-shot. And most likely one of the other tanks is going to try to pick him up here. While we look at the 3 guys going in on XVM. Looks like Fishy is looking to try to pick Hasu through there, but he didn't have the angle.
And Chase is inching forward. It could stagnate a little bit because it's not the best spot for FHS to be in. But and
now the E100 is actually in play because he has that angle there. He's looking at Fishy.
And in all seriousness, I know they made the play. They could have just said, "Okay, you got the 50B clip out."
But remember, Vova and Flounder are kind of trying to get these nice shots on the side.
Oh, that's a really good shot by Chase.
Oh, yeah,
really good pickup. Really good play. Shooting under the rails.
Looks like Vova took a hit from somebody, maybe Demonic.
Ooh,
and like I said, Fishy is getting bled a little bit by Honey here. Look at Ober just raking in the fantasy points, just clipping people left and right.
And you can see how the shots under are not perfect.
Yeah, they're really scuffed sometimes.
But
it's because they're pixel shots.
Never really pay attention to it.
Yeah, and look at Vova.
And the further away you are, the lower you are, the easier the shots are.
E100's like, no, dude. And then he's like turns, and then it's like bait. Because it looks like one of the VZs is getting side shots. Flounder, this is going to be the pick right here. Flounder took the shot, and now Vova just gets to clip this man for free.
He needs to make as many shots.
He's going to get like 3 shots, and then I think Honey is going to be loaded. Yep, there we go. He only tracked... Yeah, he only tracked Vova. He literally didn't do damage. Unlucky. And then, like, it looks like they're winning the South as well, FHS. Demonic is coming over to try to pick Chase. Flounder's still full HP. Just chilling in his big boy.
He's got his little friend with him, Vova.
Yeah, just fought just... Dum, 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 dum. It's a lot closer than I thought it'd be, but obviously like Melly is just full HP and just
there's a little bit of hesitation from FHS, but they were given such a big advantage with the 50B was able to essentially dump a clip for free. Correct. They were able to get a random shot or 2 on the K line in for free. All these things added up to just starting off kind of the Brawl 2000.
I feel like Demonic was just like not in a good spot, you know? He probably did good damage, but I don't know if it was like effective damage. And like we said earlier, the E100 was just like out of position. Like Honey was just out of position. It's not really his fault. Like obviously he's there. He's basically there. He's just a more mobile E3 is how they have him playing, right? I guess.
And their setup on the 2-line screamed to me of a team.
Well, what did they take? What did they?
I mean, CatJam's
on defense. CatJam's on defense, and they took a E100 shot and a VZ shot with like what? No shots in return. That's 1,000 HP.
It just looked like they were either copying someone else's strat, or they know the strat, but they don't really, or the players don't really know how the positions work, because it looked like one of those things where people see the strat on a strat sketch and they go to the positions, but they don't really know. They haven't had a lot of experience in those positions. Like the beginning K line was a really big red flag to me, because even after that initial, okay, now you've gone to there, I want you to leapfrog to here. The route he took on the 2-line, coming on the inside of that rail, actually, I'm almost thinking of going to the strat sketch real quick.
You want to go to the strat sketch?
I actually do, really quickly, just because it's hard to explain it. It's like, go to this slide. I just wanted to say the route here that was taken, right? Oh, let me make it an arrow. This route, bad. That right there is not how you want to go. Okay, yeah, I want you to come back to here. It's fine to go back there, but you have to go like this.
The first
guy
can
go like this, but you can get shot, especially
the first guy. Well, the first guy, it looked like he's just doing a scout run with the heavy, but Flounder's just like right here, just like casually.
Yeah,
just
and you have to
assume
that someone is here, and you have to also assume someone is here. Because they get a
he's
shot
kind
as
of
well
lucky
when you
if
go like
VZ
this.
wasn't here. He could have literally lost 1,000 on top of
and you don't gain
here.
anything from doing this, other than also just being exposed as you're driving forward, because you don't really have eyes on any of this. And this is a common route that people will come in to avoid certain detections. And if he had just simply turned around and gone like this and left the other guy out here, perfectly fine, but just don't go like this. And in all honesty, he could have taken, like you said, he could have taken more. We don't go to the strat sketch often, but I really wanted to point that out, because this is something that I see teams do sometimes, and it's just maybe can help. But yeah, that was it. So we got 2-0, very fast 2-0, Smiley. And you kind of said beforehand that you thought FHS looked like they could have a easy breezy game, but like CatJam, I don't know. They didn't look like they knew what they're doing on Himmelsdorf, but they're going in the next round, or maybe they will know